Hello and welcome to the feature walkthrough video for Documenting United States History, First Edition, published by Bedford Freeman and Worth. In this video series, we'll be looking at the AP U.S. History program, including the Student Edition, the Teacher Supplements, available technology and ebooks, and professional development. In this first video, we'll discuss the Student Edition. Jason Stacy is an associate professor of U.S. History and Social Science Pedagogy at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. Before he joined the History Department, Stacy taught AP U.S. History for 8 years at Adlai E. Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Stacy has served as an AP U.S. History reader, table leader, exam leader, consultant, senior auditor, and question author for the redesigned AP U.S. History exam. Since 2009, Stacy has served as editor-in-chief of The Counselor, a journal of the social studies. He was also the president of the Illinois Council for the Social Studies in 2014. Stephen Heller has taught for 28 years in the Chicagoland area, the last 16 of which have been at Adlai E. Stevenson High School in Lincolnshire, Illinois, where he teaches AP English Language and Composition. Heller has served as a question leader, table leader, and reader for the AP English Language and Composition exam, and has recently completed a 6-year term on the AP English Language and Composition Test Development Committee. A national and international College Board consultant for AP and pre-AP English, Heller has also served as the College Board advisor while on the Development Committee. Heller is also contributing item writer for the revised SAT exam, and he also serves as a reader for the International Baccalaureate exam. Since 2007, Heller has teamed with Jason Stacy to teach American themes in the AP classroom, a course that examines the skills common to both AP English Language and AP U.S. History, and for many years this course has been offered at Carleton College, Northfield, Minnesota. In 2006, Heller was recognized as an outstanding teacher by the U.S. Department of Education as part of the Presidential Scholars Program. Heller also serves on NCTE's Secondary Section Steering Committee. Now that you've learned more about the authors, it's time to take a look at what makes Documenting United States History the best U.S. history sourcebook for your classroom. As we've demonstrated earlier, these texts are authored by experts who not only love their subject, but love to teach it as well. The texts are aligned to the AP topic outline and terminology, making teaching the required material simple. This text was organized according to AP standards, which resulted in 22 chapters covering 9 periods of AP U.S. history. Key concepts are illustrated by primary documents and secondary sources, and pedagogical tools scaffold students' development of historical thinking skills. While we look through Documenting U.S. History, think about how you teach your students to write the discussion-based question. Rest easy knowing that this text correlates directly to the key concepts, historical thinking skills, and themes from the 2015 updates to the AP U.S. History Framework. Complete correlations for key concepts, thematic alignment, and AP writing skills can be found in the book's front-end paper and in a separate document your rep can provide. For convenience, each chapter also opens with a correlation to corresponding key concepts. You can see how the authors have divided each chapter into discrete topics with a set of documents, and that each topic ends with a historical thinking skill exercise. Each chapter opens with seeking the main point questions, which are AP-based thematic questions that help students connect the documents to the key concept of the chapter. Seeking the main point acts as a follow-up to the initial thematic pre-reading questions. This section synthesizes documents and questions into broader themes and gives students real practice in articulating the key concepts of the historical framework within these themes. Practicing historical thinking sections give students tools they need to identify, analyze, and evaluate each source. Identify questions ask for basic information about a document. Analyze questions require students to draw appropriate inferences and logical conclusions about a document. And evaluate questions then require students to make an informed judgment about a document. With each document, the authors provide students the opportunity to practice the skill analyzing historical sources. In this particular document, written by a delegation from Pennsylvania to the Constitutional Convention, they include a source representing the anti-federalist perspective. You can see that Jason and Steve begin by asking students to identify what the document says by what are the chief concerns, move on to an analysis of the arguments, how are those concerns justified, and ultimately ask students to evaluate the document in historical context, based on the previous relationship between Great Britain and its North American colonies before the Revolution. To what extent are these anti-federalist concerns justified? Applying AP Historical Thinking Skills exercises encourage students to develop a historical argument through practice with each historical thinking skill. A step-by-step process reinforces each skill throughout the textbook. After your students have considered the documents in the chapter, the authors offer a step-by-step process for students to review the historical thinking skills, comparison, and an argumentation. You'll notice that we've included quite a few documents here, much more than what you would find in a traditional short answer question. That said, the authors have included many traditional short answer questions in the book, all of which include secondary and primary sources. Ideally, this step-by-step process offers you some flexibility in its application. You could have students complete steps 1 and 2 for homework, for example, and then complete step 3 as an in-class essay. Or you could divide the class in half and have half the class complete step 1 and the other half complete step 2. Then you could create a class debate to allow students to analyze step 3 in a dynamic and fluid exercise. To sum up, Jason and Steve have tried to offer exercises that allow your students to practice the historical thinking skills rather than practice for the test. We believe that when students can apply the historical thinking skills in a flexible way, they will succeed on the test, as well as authentically learn the skills to good historical practice. At the end of each chapter is a section called Building AP Writing Skills. These sections give students some room to stretch their legs when it comes to writing. Building AP Writing Skills is a feature that shows students how to write historical art by integrating the historical thinking skills with useful writing strategies to form clear, coherent arguments. Each Building AP Writing Skills comes with a prompt-specific guide on how to organize your thoughts into a well-written essay. Putting it all together and revisiting the main point questions at the end of each chapter requires students to combine various sources from the chapter to draw conclusions, just as they must do on the AP exam. These questions are directly related to seeking the main point questions, but they are more specific. Working with secondary sources boxes helps students attack one of the most important skills of AP US history, interpreting and analyzing historical writing by professional historians. 2 short readings by prominent historians are presented with questions asking students to construct short answer-style responses, just like the AP US History exam. Thank you for watching this video walkthrough for Documenting United States History, First Edition. We hope that this has informed you of the resources available throughout the student program. If you have any questions about Documenting United States History, First Edition, its supplements and technology, or any of our other social studies titles, please feel free to email us at socialstudies@bfwpub.com at your convenience.